Acting face on. Yo, what's good, as King Kai. Nutrition is easily one of the most complicated subjects when it comes to getting your fitness goals. And as a NASM certified personal trainer, the National Academy of Sports Medicine, I'm going to provide you guys some information about nutrition that makes it simple and digestible. And I'm going to give you some actionable steps you can use today to get closer to your fitness goals. We're making an army of Super Saiyans around here, so if you want to power up, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. When I started my fitness journey, my diet was absolute garbage. It consisted mostly of Jack in the Box, carne asada fries, Doritos, all topped with a delicious rank game of League of Legends. And your boy was a chunk-a-monk. In an effort to lose weight, I was looking at YouTube videos that were telling me to eat 1,300 calories a day, and you can still eat pizza, Spoiler alert, this advice does not work. And even worse, we heard things like calories in versus calories out, that's all that matters. I still cringe off of hearing advice like that. As a result, I was given the soft, pudgy body that I deserved, and it was obvious that some major changes needed to be made. And after lots of yo-yoing from muscular to chubby back to muscular, I made a lot of changes that made it more sustainable for me to keep my gains and my progress. To increase your chances of getting the best diet possible, the diet in question needs to maximize muscle growth, minimize fat gain, and be sustainable for a long period of time. So it is absolutely vital that the foods that we consume are nutritionally dense. Nutritionally dense foods simply means that a food's calories are primarily composed of nutritional value. So when people say calories in versus calories out, that's all that matters, the reason why that's garbage is because 100 calories of pizza does not equate to 100 calories of chicken. Yes, it's still both 100 calories, but those calories are completely different. One's of fat and one's of protein. So that means don't think you can just eat anything you want to and get away with it. You'll land your ass in Chubbyville just as fast as I did. With this in mind, the perfect diet that you're going to need is going to be moderate in complex carbohydrates, high in protein, and moderate in fats. The food pyramid tells you to eat high carbohydrates and little fats. It's really no wonder why the West is obese. Your body needs ample supplies of all of these macronutrients in order to function properly, and they all have a specific function. So carbs are going to be the body's first readily available source of energy. So let's say when you go into the gym, you start working out, the carbohydrates that you consume before your workout are going to be the first thing your body goes to get energy for said workout. And you want to make sure that you're consuming complex carbohydrates, not the garbage simple carbs like sweet bread and muffins. That garbage has got to go.
Give me that sweet roll you got from old lady Palmer.
What nonsense.
Next is going to be protein. So protein helps facilitate muscle growth and repair. So after you tear up your muscles in the gym, the protein is going to be responsible for repairing you and recovering and getting you back to where you were originally, and also increasing your muscle strength and size. Without a sufficient amount of protein in your muscles, then it's going to be difficult for your muscles to recover fully, thus wasting your own time in the gym, and we don't want to waste our time here. See, a common recommendation for protein consumption is going to be 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. The reason why I have a hard time getting behind that for a lot of people is because someone who is new to the gym is going to have a hard time scarfing down 250 grams of protein if they've never done that before. Instead, I want to shoot for a general range for most people to be at. If you're within 120 to 160 grams of protein, that's a pretty good starting point. You have plenty of protein to help recover your muscles because you're likely not any lighter than 120 if you're a man. And now this is going to tie in to maximizing muscle growth. Protein consumption is essential for this. So now we've maximized our muscle with the protein, and we've minimized our fat gain by reducing sugar and simple carbohydrates. And the final macronutrient is going to be fats. So there's a common misconception that fat is bad for you, and that's not completely the case. Fat is actually extremely important for your body to regulate hormone production. And the fat also acts as a separate source of stored energy. So essentially, if there's no carbohydrates in your body, then your body's going to go after the fat and use that as energy instead. But with that being said, you want to make sure that you're consuming a steady amount of healthy fats, and that includes like olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds to ensure that your body is producing the necessary amount of hormones. And in your case, if you're a man, would be testosterone. And testosterone will help you build muscle. Now, your meal should be balanced of these 3 macronutrients, including some vegetables and fruits, okay? And if you don't understand which to eat in which category, then I can have a list put up on the screen for carbs, proteins, and fats. You can have some examples on which you would like to try out. Now that we have a basic knowledge of like what the foods will do and which ones you should be consuming, we can get an idea on what we should start first with our fitness journey, and that will be cleaning up your damn fridge. You want to cut back completely on processed foods and sugars in your refrigerator, and I guarantee you get a whole lot of garbage in there that you forgot that you even bought. You will see immediate changes in your health the first week, I guarantee you, if you got rid of sugar and soda and all that bullshit. See, you're probably thinking like, how do I know if a food is processed or not? Now, if you look at the ingredient list, then that's all you really need to know. If you look at a McDonald's burger, it's gonna have a whole bunch of ingredients of shit that you can't even pronounce properly. But if you look at like the back of wheat bread or potatoes, then they usually have one ingredient. That means there's not a whole lot of additives, meaning that it's very lowly processed. Now, this is how we create like a perfect healthy diet. Now, it's not sexy or anything, like it's not what people really want to hear. There's no cheat codes though, but if you understand what to look for, then it's going to be a lot easier to cultivate a diet that works best for you. This is all going to help keep your visceral fat levels down and maximize your strength and muscle gain, and the more muscle you have, the more fat you'll be burning. It's just going to be a win-win for you. Okay, so I gave you a list of different foods to eat in the different categories. Now you're probably thinking, hey, I don't know which ones to eat, which ones should I eat, okay? So obviously there's different macronutrients for specific foods that you pick from, right? But it all boils down to what you like. Remember, now this has to be sustainable, and by sustainable, that means you have to actually enjoy the food that you're putting in your mouth. See, the reason why diets like keto or the carnivore diet, yeah, that shit, paleo, the reason why a lot of those special diets don't work as well for a lot of people is because they're so restrictive. But if you create something that's very good for you, but it just has real food in it, then you can be on this diet for the rest of your life. At that point, it's not even a diet, it's a lifestyle. So let's say, for example, you go into the protein category, right? You want to pick your protein, you don't know which one you want. No, you like steak though. You think steak is tasty, so you pick steak. Boom, that's one. And let's say you go into your complex carbohydrate list. You pick sweet potato. That's a really good one. And let's say for your fats, you pick almonds or cashews or something. And at this point, you really just mix and match the food that you like and just make your meals out of that. And if you have a hard time, you can literally just like roast some vegetables or something. Like you can roast vegetables and get some chicken, and it'll be chilling. Like it'll be good. What I've been doing is I get like a bowl of chopped up potatoes and I put it in the air fryer and I coat it in olive oil and I season it after that. It's pretty smack. So let's say pan-seared steak with sweet potatoes and some broccoli. That shit is flames. Like if you think it tastes bad, you just don't cook it well enough. And you do that process with your other meals. So let's say if you don't want to eat steak, you eat shrimp. And then you can get some rice, and then you can get some peas and carrots. Boom, shrimp fried rice. Or one of my favorites, I like ground beef and rice. Like that's just tasty to me with some soy sauce and season the ground beef, all that stuff. Now, if we recap, we have the protein consumption. This will maximize our muscle gain. We have reduced sugar and simple carbohydrates and included healthier, more nutritionally dense foods. This will minimize our fat gain. And we also have a plethora of items we can choose from, so this makes our diet sustainable. Now, this should be something that you employ for the rest of your life. It should not be a week thing, should not be a month thing, it should be a lifestyle. That's the only way you're gonna make this happen for the long term, okay? If you find this video helpful, I really do appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel right now. Join my Discord server in the description. And if you need specific help for your goals, I have lifestyle, fitness, and nutrition coaching in the description. So go and check that out. This is your sensei, King Kai. I appreciate you guys watching. Deuces. 5, 3, 2,